Okay, I am doing a video on the Netflix documentary series Twin Flame Universe. This is just kind of a response. This is my personal opinions and things I have to say on it. I feel some sort of like moral obligation to speak on this because I feel like a lot of this, the verbology or the words that they used, I don't even know if verbology is a word, the words that they used were kind of common terms that you hear a lot when you're going through either like a spiritual awakening or some sort of enlightenment. So I wanted to clear some of those terms up as well as give my thoughts and perspective on what's actually going on and what I think of it, if it's a cult, that sort of thing. First, I'm going to go over some of the terms that they use and kind of clear that up because I feel like the documentary didn't really explain what they were or why people might be attracted to that, or they kind of touched on some things but not the whole thing. So the first thing is the twin flame relationship or the twin flame bond. I do believe in that to an extent. It's kind of like an amplified soulmate situation where you meet somebody and you have an instant connection. It's believed that you only have one of these in your lifetime. It's supposed to be the ultimate person. The part that they don't mention, and probably the part that's not mentioned in the cult, maybe is why it's not mentioned, is a lot of the time the twin flame journey is a journey that takes place more on a spiritual level. It's not necessarily on a physical level. A lot of people, if you do meet your twin flame, it will be a short-lived thing, and you'll spend most of your life in separation. It's very rare that you would be like conjoined with your twin flame or meet with your twin flame. No, that's hard for me to say now, saying it so much. So it's not common that you are to spend the rest of your life with this person, but you do go on a journey where you guys are going through similar things. You mirror each other. You have a lot of the same experiences, but a lot of the healing that you go through with this person is meant to be that you do separately from this person. So that part was kind of a little bit different in the cult or the documentary. So I thought that was kind of interesting. The other part they talk about too was the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And I wanted to say that this was like highly kind of manipulated, in my opinion, the terms of those. Each person, in my belief, has a divine feminine and divine masculine. That's in every person. Divine feminine is being in touch with your like receiving side, your emotional side, and that sort of thing. And the divine masculine is being in touch with your creative side, your doing side, your action side, your providing side. Sort of like your feminine is more emotional and your masculine is more like concrete and solid. So they're just two different energies. You do not need to meet another person to fulfill this energy. Every person has both of these energies inside themselves. So when somebody is trying to sell you something or tell you that you're not a whole person, or you need to meet somebody who is a counterpart to you, I don't really believe in that because, like I said, everybody has both of these, and you display your energies in different ways. A lot of this video on Netflix that I watched reminded me a lot of the Nexium before they even mentioned it. I watched that one probably 6 months ago or whenever it came out on HBO. I watched the Nexium documentary, and that one really blew me away, and that one was very sickening. A lot of crazy stuff was going on with that. And as I'm watching maybe the first episode of, maybe not even all the way through the first episode of the Twin Flame Universe docuseries, I kind of turned to my significant other and I said, this reminds me a lot of the Nexium. It's similar in a lot of ways, but I feel like it's like a smaller version of that, or a minimal version of that, or he's mimicking a lot of things. So that kind of was like making me think right off the bat that this is definitely a cult. He uses a lot of the same techniques of the feeding and then implementing daily sex and stuff like that into the culture of the it really is a cult, the culture of it. So I thought that was kind of interesting and kind of weird at the same time. It's almost like this guy probably idolizes Kevin Rainier, which is the leader of NXIVM, and then he's trying to implement or make them different kind of techniques. And I'm glad the one girl at the end of the docuseries in the Twin Flame universe kind of realized or woke up when she was watching that documentary that holy cow, it's the same. And a big part at the end of the NXIVM one is that he has a lot of people come out against you know, the media and stuff like that, and running smear campaigns against them, or saying, you know, why they're trying to bring down their business or whatever. So it's kind of very similar, runs on the same, like this is the same, everything had a lot of parallels. I think that's what I'm trying to say here. I think why it's working a lot though is because it lures legit couples or legit people who have a relationship, you know, outside of there, and then have them testify that they've met their twin flame, which, like I said, anyone can do that. Like you or I, we could have claimed to have met our, you know, divine counterpart or a twin flame, and like think this is a great soulmate connection. So he's having people testify to those things, and whether or not they both met through the group or not, kind of makes a big deal in my opinion. But at first he's making it seem like it's a legit thing, and then he's implementing the mirror technique, which in my opinion can work. It can work for shadow work if you do it on yourself, and you want to be careful with it though, because I also feel like it can sort of lead to narcissistic abuse. And the reason I say that is because with the mirroring technique, they kind of teach you, like, you see somebody and you say, so-and-so is such an abusive person, they're always putting me down and blah, blah, blah. Well, then you kind of mirror that, instead of the person's name, put I am an abusive person, or you kind of figure out the I am of what that is. So you might be saying I am the abusive person to them, so they are abusive to me. Or a lot of the times, if you're using it that way, it's more of a manipulation tactic. More proper way to be using that is, so-and-so is an abuser, I am allowing them to abuse myself. So you want to like mirror the truth. You don't want to lie to yourself or teach yourself to like believe that you are deserving of the abuse because you're giving abuse, that sort of thing. So it can get kind of like gray area. It's kind of a mind control thing. So if you're using the mirroring technique, I would be very cautious. Like I said, it can work, especially if you're doing shadow work or something like that. It can help you, you know, to process some things. I was reading my notes a little bit. But overall, I definitely do feel like this is a cult. If you're involved with them in any way, shape, or form, I would highly recommend you get away from them. Go watch the NXIVM movie, and then you can make your own judgments and decide and see how many parallels there are. And just remember, every time somebody is, you know, asking you for money, you want to be skeptical. And I feel like he's designed this a little bit as, like many cult situations, a multi-level marketing scam. You know, you're spending all your money to pay for the courses, to become a coach, and then it's keeping you kind of broke because you're always doing more coaching. You're always, you know, investing in yourself is how they'll put it. But really, you're just giving all your money that you've earned back to them, and you're taking away your power every time you give them your money. So think about that. Another reason why I think he is a cult leader is because he does at some point come out and say that he is like a spiritual guru. He's been enlightened. He's the chosen one. He's the second coming. All of those things are kind of red flags for this might be a cult. It's like, here's your sign 101 that you might be in a cult. He's also isolating people from their family and their loved ones, and telling them that they only need to talk to people within the society. Anytime you get something like that, is also a red flag in itself. Nobody should be ever telling you to not talk to your family. Even if your family is abusive, that should be something that you do on your own terms. not something that somebody's dictating you or telling you, you know, to stop it. If it doesn't feel right, definitely don't do that. So that's basically why I think, you know, this happened. I just want to warn people, you know, if you're on a twin flame journey, that may be a real thing. You may be experiencing that, but just don't go like throwing your money away or joining a group or something where they have claimed to found you somebody or guaranteed they're going to find you somebody. Is one of those things. If it feels like a trap, it probably is a trap. You just haven't caught on yet. So I just wanted to put that out there because I feel like it needed a response and a short thing, just getting it out there. I don't really do videos normally like this, but I thought I would just share my opinion today. Thank you.